kind of vision of womanhood that asks a woman to give all of herself for the sake of community so he can set the gate. I don't know if that sounds like good news to you, because it's to me. So the text meeting reality as much as reality meeting the text. So sometimes when you ask me what the preaching matter is, one of the ways I say it when I'm teaching is we have got to come up and meet the resistance of lived lives. You read a text, and then we just start talking about that's what the Lord said, but folk are living a different reality. Pastor Janae did it very well last night. That was an example of what I mean. There is what you are called to, whatever, and then there's this reality. They aren't always the same thing. And sometimes when we are preaching, I'm talking like we're all already sharing out of our space. We are preaching. We act as if people aren't living real lives. We want to rush so fast. Hear what I say. We want to rush so fast to the good news that we don't give ear to the pain people are living. We want to rush so fast to on the other side of the cross that we don't want to talk about the agony of the Via Dolorosa. We don't want to talk about what it meant to get there. We want to rush so fast to the great faith that if we don't even want to acknowledge that 1 in 4 women are suffering from depression. We don't even want to acknowledge it. Because then the next thing we got to say is, oh, but God can fix your mind. He's a mind regulator. But for the woman who is sinking deep down and can't find her way up out of depression, that does not sound like good news. That sounds like you don't care what I'm going through. That's what that sounds like. So the preaching moment is the moment where the text meets real life and real life meets the text. So when we start talking about preparing for sermons, oftentimes most of us start with the text and we start thinking how to get to the cross. Those of you who come out of that tradition where you feel like you're preaching the gospel and you said Jesus died and got up. I'm not of that tradition, but I understand that tradition. I think good news doesn't necessarily have to go by the cross. I think you can preach the Old Testament. This is the Old Testament professor me. I think you can preach the good news of God out of the Old Testament without ever saying Jesus, especially since most texts don't have Jesus in them. Let's say all of them in the Old Testament don't have Jesus in them. But we have so Christianized the Hebrew Bible text that we can't even see what God is doing in that text. We're so trying to, my friend, they did a joke where my friend said, why can't, she said, you're messing with the text and you're not messing with it well. This is a professor. And the student was like, well, I'm saying that was then and this is now, that was then and this is now. And she said, you got your one set on New Testament. You read the Old Testament now. Some of us set our wands on, but this is what the Bible says, and we're not even paying attention to the world around us. St. Francis of Assisi says, preach the gospel every day, and when necessary, use words. Now, most of us would not get up in any church and let the Michael Jackson song, Man in the Mirror, be the text for the day. I get that. I'm not arguing with you about that. But it is a relevant contextual text. Lakeisha, I saw you posted on the Facebook the other week. Dr. Valerie told me if I wanted to be a good preacher, I got to read something other than the Bible. And I really mean that. That sometimes we are so busy trying to be holy that we become irrelevant, unable to connect to the culture that needs to hear a good and sound word of encouragement, a sound word of faith, a sound word of a push, something that will, Michael Jackson says, I'm starting here. And I would say that the preacher has to always start here. locate the struggle of the preaching moment in your own crazy life. And don't try to act like your life ain't crazy. Because we all got our own brand of crazy. Can I get a witness? Everybody say amen to that. Because if you can't say amen to that, you're lying. And you need to go sell popcorn and not get in anybody's pulpit. And I will not take that back. Start with yourself, your own brand of crazy, your own pain, your own scars, your own wounds. And there's a difference between scars and wounds. Some stuff we ain't ready to preach about because we're still too raw about it. And we're not preaching at that point. We're bleeding on people. For example, she said, give an example. Y'all feel these mics are, so, okay, let me say this. You can ask me a question through the plenary, but I got the mic, so don't pontificate. If you're the kind of person that needs to ramble to the end for your question, formulate your question before you get up. Now, I'm telling you that because I will stop you, and that might hurt your feelings. But you have been fairly warned that I will do that. So if a question comes in your mind, write it down. Try to figure out what you want to ask so we can get the work done. Okay? We're short. So for example, let's say I'll use a very specific example out of my life. I don't have a problem with being specific. I am divorced after being married 29 years. It was not my choice to be divorced. It's not like I said, and even if I had done that, there are some remorse that follows some decisions, even if they're good decisions. There are unintended consequences and complications that we can't see, even in good decisions. So I'm newly divorced. I didn't talk about divorced people for a couple of years because I was raw. I went to a service where they were honoring people who were grieving. And they had space for people whose mama had died, child had died, whatever. I said, but what about us whose relationships have died? And everybody in the room could just shut down because we don't know how to talk about grief. And there's some grief and loss in lost relationships, lost jobs. You've been working somewhere for 20 years and you walk in and they say we're moving the jobs over to Bangladesh. There's grief in that. But unless you are processing your grief, unless you're willing to think about your own grief, then when you get up to talk about grief, what people will hear is not what is the human experience of grief, but your own pain. And they'll want, and how you know is because they'll want to get a handkerchief and give it to you instead of crying to their own handkerchief. You've been in services where you want to go take care of the preacher. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all looking at me like, do you know what I'm talking about when I say that? Have you been in services where the preacher was, you was like, oh, God, I just want to go give them a hug. It didn't even bring you to, wow, that really is what we go through. You know the difference? So, some things that's why you start with a woman, a man in the mirror. Because some things we're not ready to talk about. We're not ready to talk about. Even if it's in the lectionary text for the day, I can't talk about that because that would be bleeding on the people. So that's my example. Is that a good example? Does that help? All right. So now you have to tell me where I was. Okay, y'all need to take notes to help me. Owning your own pain, minding your own life, minding not just your misery, but your joy. We often talk about when we talk about mind your life, we talk about the pain, but we got some joys that need to be looked at and talked about. I'm laughing now at Jeff and Janae because they're newlyweds. And every time I say that one of them throw their hands up because they happy. And they do like that. But that joy needs to be mine. She does that in such a way, and I really acknowledge this. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, they don't do that in a way that makes you feel like, ooh. But the joy gives you hope. It's a gospel hope that joy is possible in daily living. To say, oh, I got joy in Jesus, and that's the only place I got joy. You want to take a picture of me doing that? I'm not. If you miss the shimmy, you just can't get it. Seems like I was changing the lens, and see, God didn't want y'all to get that. God did not want you to get a picture of that. But you get what I'm saying about this. That oftentimes, this is what I mean by starting with ourselves. Oftentimes in the preaching moment, we dig into our pain, but not into our joy. And nobody's lie. And if your life is all pain, get you to a doctor now. You are depressed. Get help. Really. That was a real commercial. Start with the man, the woman in the mirror. You want to see a change, you want to make a change, start with you. Now, there are two things about that I wanted to look at. One is, if you can't look at yourself, you won't look at the world. If you cannot honestly assess your own stuff, you can't honestly assess what's going on in the world. My example of that is Mother Teresa. I refuse to read the book Come Be My Life. I'm sure it has powerful words in it, but it is her journal that she gave to her spiritual leader and told him to burn, and he published them. I refuse to read them for that reason. Now, I know they bless people's lives, but I refuse, because her private struggle was, Jesus, where are you? And instead of staying in that, she went and got down in the gutters in Calcutta and did what she was called to do, even when she didn't feel like doing it, even when she couldn't understand whether God was there with her or not, even when there was days when she just felt like there was no God, but she couldn't do anything but be Mother Teresa in Calcutta. Here's what I'm trying to say to you. She was doing her private excavation of her own struggle in her journal, so she could get up and go down to the gutters in Calcutta and do the work with people who were sick, who were lepers, kids who were dying from AIDS. She could kiss them, hold them, pass them up, pray for them, even when she couldn't pray for herself, because she was telling herself the truth. I was trying not to preach, but y'all know I can't. But you understand what I'm saying, right? Start with you. And if you can get honest with you, then you can get honest about what's going on around you. Jaha and I, details of which are not important, but this is the point, have been talking about how we can hide the world from ourselves. We don't want to know something in our personal lives and in our public lives. Like, we can be looking at it, see it's a snake, and call it a stick. In our lives and in the public. Example. There's vitriolic denial among Tea Partiers, and yes, I would politics, about there not being any racist element in the Tea Party movement. I'm a black woman in America. I can smell racism a mile away. You can dress it up. You can put a flag around it. You can say God and country, and I can still say to you, racism. But because they have so adamantly claimed that those who call them racist are themselves racist, we have become reticent about calling it racist. Call a snake a stick. But they're just passionate about their country. They want their country back. From who? Who they want their country back from? Who are they? You see what I'm saying? So we have gotten to the place where we can't tell the truth because we have been, con people can con you. They will lie. And you know they will. My mother said, there are people who can steal ginger out of gingerbread without breaking the crust. Con. And you be like, what happened to my ginger? You were standing right there. I was looking at you take my ginger. But it still looked like gingerbread. The preaching that does not take into account real world is not good preaching. It's not. The preaching that does not own the nature of one's own pain is not good preaching. The preaching that does not acknowledge the complexities of our God is not good preaching. Sometimes the answer from the pulpit is, I don't know. But because most of us have grown up in a culture where the leader is not allowed to say, I don't know, it will make up a lie even about God. So, sister, you were abused. He beat you to within an inch of your life. You're now on your fourth beating, and I'm going to come visit you and say, you know, the Lord will make a way somehow. Even in this, God is doing good because you're showing yourself faithful. You're lying about God because you don't have the guts to say, I don't know why. I don't know why God let you marry a man who sweet talked to you, and as soon as he said, I do beat you up. I don't know why. This is for your good. The Lord is building your character. No, I don't know why that happened. I ain't gonna lie about God because I don't know. Now I'm gonna ask God, why you let that happen? I'm gonna be like every other prophet and say, God, why you look at on evil and let it keep going? Why? Why? I'm gonna stand right here, God, until you answer me. Habakkuk, for those of you who don't know the book. But because we have been told that Christianity and our faith doesn't wrestle, that it isn't, that it's nice, then we don't know how to scream at God. Read the Psalms. A lot of that is screaming at God. The laments is all about, why do the heathens rage and the people of God are suffering? How come they got theirs and I'm sitting over here? I'm supposed to have favor. You know, whatever. All that stuff. So we lie. We lie about God. Because we don't have the guts to talk about the complexity of divine and human interaction. Why did God call David? David was a dog. He was. Come on, let's just own it. Let's own it. Let's own it. David was a dog. I know it because right before he died, they said, let's see if he really did. Go find a really pretty girl, put her in the bed, and see if he get warm. And when he didn't get warm, that's called get it up for those of you who sanctimonious know. When he didn't get it up, they said, oh no, he did. He on his way out. Because there ain't no time that a pretty woman couldn't make David warm. They said, we need to start planning the succession because David is on his way out here because we know David is a dog. We know it. He our king. We love him. He's a man after God's own heart, but he a dog. He a dog, and he will deceive you. He will take what doesn't belong to him, and he will set other folks up to help him take it. He will abuse his power. And somebody said to me when I started preaching, whatever you do in a church, in a black church, don't talk about David because they love David. I'm like, if you love David more than you love God, you don't need to be here anyway. It's the truth. He's a complex character. We want to flatten him out to the sweet singer of Israel, a man after God's own heart. He was a thief, a rapist, and a liar, and a murderer. Which part? Thief. He took and a murderer. Thief. He took stuff all the time. Look at what happened. When he went to Nabal and he wanted what belonged to Nabal, Nabal said, this is my family land. I ain't giving it to you. And this is before he was king. And David planned to take it and to kill him. And Abigail, the woman in the midst, said, I am not getting caught between these two fools. If somebody gonna die, it ain't gonna be me and these children right here. So she fixed a meal, took it to David and his men, bowed down to him. You know, it's called the law of survival. She did what she had to do to survive. But David was getting ready to steal. She said, here, you can take it. If you can, I'm going to help you because I'm trying to survive. There's a whole complexity around Abigail. But he was ready to steal. Kill? Well, let's go to break. Jeanette, I had this long conversation. That's why she said, I'm back then. I know that. I'm like, now, this is my Hebrew Bible stuff going on. That was not a love affair. That was not adultery. Adultery is two consenting adults who see each other and say, ooh, my man out. You here. You're supposed to be at war, but you here. Let's get it on. Now, the way we've heard that preached all our life is, and Bathsheba was up on the roof, tempting the king. How about the king wasn't supposed to be there? How about this? Even if she was tempting him, he didn't have to. As Claudette Copeland said a couple of weeks to somebody, if they land up in your office, spread eagle butt naked, step over them, go get somebody and say, we have a problem in my office. Just call somebody offer it don't mean you got to take it. And how about this? He the king. And Bathsheba's husband is fighting on his behalf. And how about he was supposed to be out there fighting too? But he's sitting up in the king's palace looking across his kingdom. I don't know if you've ever been in a country that has a lot of castles. I was in Germany. I see how kings thought they ruled the world. Because when you go up in the king's chamber in one of them castles and look out, as far as the eyes can see, that's their kingdom. I said, oh, I see. I got it now. I understand why they thought they owned everything. So the scripture says he sent people to seize her. Now, in your King James Version, it says take her. The word is intensified, and it literally means to seize as in to rape. But that's too sharp for us because we're too sensitive to the word rape. They took her. They didn't take her to his table for him to wine and dine her and to seduce her. They took her straight to his bedroom. Rape. Abuse of power. Could she have said no? Like that? Sure. She could have said no. But she got dragged in there. They took her. They seized her. They didn't say, king request your presence. She said, wait a minute, let me get my perfume. I'll be there in a minute. Complicated. It's a complicated story. But we go into these texts as if they are not. He was a thief, a racist, and a liar. David, Joab says, tell the king. Well, first of all, when he realized that Bathsheba was pregnant and that Uriah would not sleep with her, he says that, first of all, he says to Uriah, go sleep with Uriah. I wouldn't do that. That would just not be honorable. While the men of this country are dying, and I know in war we're not supposed to sleep with our wives. I wouldn't do that. He's like, okay, well then take this note for well-being to Joab, my servant. The note said, kill the man who gives you this note. What kind of honorable man is Uriah? He didn't even look at the note. You carrying the note that got your life sentence on it because you trust the man that gave you the note. Murder. He's complicit. He hands it. And when Joab plans the murder at David's request, they step back from the wall and let Uriah die. The people that's supposed to have his back. Because the king who got power said, do it. That's called murder in every culture. You didn't throw the rock, but you provided the opportunity. And you gave the order. And you were the person with the power. A man after God's own heart. Can we go really real? How real y'all want us to really go? She said, I don't know what they're asking for. But I'm looking at the crossed arms, so I was like, I might have already crossed the boundaries because I done messed with David. And if you think it's David, what about Eddie? She said, oh, Lord. No, let's talk. Now, what we've been talking about with Eddie Long, let me say the alleged things against him. These are alleged allegations. We don't know. But let's also say we do know this stuff happens. We ain't talking about it alone. We're talking about what happens when people get the smell of power in their nose and just lose their mind and think they're never going to get caught. It's called the David syndrome. I'm not saying anything, but here's what I know folks do. But so we're so busy trying to protect Annie and not pray, and let's pray, let's talk. We don't want to gossip. We say that to shut people down. We over spiritualize it because we don't really want to talk about the fact that those of us in power are always we are always on the edge of the possibility of abusing our power. All of us. Because the women adore us. The brothers love us. We walk in and they hug up on us, and some of them hug us way too long. Come on, let's not, and too tight. Let's not act like I'm not telling the truth. Don't act like I'm not telling the truth. Oh my God, I'm not coming back to this. Please do that. But my point is, power has its own seduction. And when you throw a sacred canopy over it, the Lord has called me to this. It has an even stronger seduction. Because who doesn't want to be close to God? Or close to the people who are close to God? See, I'm talking about preaching matters. You can't have nothing to say if you're not willing to look at the stuff that we need to be talking about. What you gonna say if we can't talk about the stuff we need to be talking about? We know our children being abused. If he didn't do it to these young men, we know there are folks who are abusing kids in the church in the name of God. So you can talk about this without gossiping about Eddie Long. But this situation allows us to think about what really is going on. And in the black church, and here's the other thing, it ain't just the black church. But since I'm talking to us, in the black church, we also got this other thing going on, which is don't put our business in the street. Don't be airing our dirty. We all feel the black man, black woman burden. Because if he did it, they think we all did. It's this hypersexualized thing about black people. And so now we want to protect, or at least if we don't want to protect him, we certainly don't want to put more out there about it because we're going to have a culture have to answer to you hypersensitive, jungle boogie black people who don't know how to keep this stuff in your pants and under your dress. This is a cultural phenomenon. And we, the preachers, need to be talking about it. What's that got to do with the gospel? Folks are separated. And the text says that Jesus looked out and saw people harassed and helpless. If you can't look out and see the harassed and helpless, you can't preach. You can't. You can't. This is the work of God. To not turn your eye from evil. you have to be, as my daddy used to say, the first person at the altar when you get through preaching. Even if you have to say, I know I just said this, and I can't pray because I got to go to the altar. I have preached myself to conviction. I'm just saying. I have preached myself to conviction sometimes, like, oh, Jesus, I'll be back, y'all. I'm going over here to pray because for real, that got me. It's called looking at the woman, the man in the mirror, looking at life as it really is. You cannot preach. Do you hear me saying? You cannot preach. You cannot go to a text without some kind of lens that allows you to look at those things. So when we start looking at these texts, we have to think to ourselves, what's the real life that's going on as I read this text? Both in the text and around me. What's the real life? And because we tend to isolate stories, we don't always get the real life. So I'm working on the sermon that I'm preaching Sunday. I don't want to give too much of it away, but it's for World Hunger Day. And I'm like, God, so I'm looking at all the stats because that's important to me, that 49.1 million people in the U.S. are, I forget what it's called, food vulnerable. They either only eat once a day, once every other day. And the thing about hunger, we think it's starvation that happens. It's all the complications to your health when you don't eat healthy. So we are starving in our country. 49.1 million of us, we know. But some of us are starving for some other stuff. I don't want you to miss that there are people starving physically because of what I just said. Because what often happens to us is we go, well, that ain't me. So, we wave it off because that's not us. Because we can't. I mean, I can't look at the news that much because I'm such a visual person, and it's going to bed with me. And at some point, as I said midnight, somebody has to say to me, get off Facebook because it's driving me crazy. Take a break. It's driving you crazy. When I start signing on Facebook, you need to know. That's the sign. And I start getting these notes on the backside. Get off. It's getting deep. But I cannot turn my face from the pain. The story that happened a week and a half ago, where here in Tennessee, where the fire people were standing there watching somebody's house burn for $75. For real, you let somebody's house burn down for $75? Y'all could have took a collection with the 60 people standing here, and not everybody have to give but $1.50 and not let that house burn down. But the chief was out on the golf course, got a call, and said, let it burn. If that don't piss you off, nothing will. And yes, I say piss you off. Because Renita Williams said every good prophet needs to learn how to cuss. Whoa, it's a cuss word. Whoa! In the Bible, it is. It's a cuss word. Every good preacher, every good prophet, not preacher. And some of y'all not prophets. You can't even see beyond where you are. I'm not even saying everybody is a prophet or should be, but every good prophet needs to learn how to cuss. Because sometimes the cuss word is the only one that really works. What time is it? Keep me on time. Okay, let me stop here and take questions for the next 30. We go to 10:30 or 10:30. Let me start taking questions, and that will get us to the next. So please come to the mic if you have questions for me. Has this part been helpful to you? Okay. I know I haven't talked about the way to get at what I'm saying, but I'm trying to get you to calibrate your mind about what you need to even be looking at. Any questions? Today, get on the mic. I got questions. I was trying to let y'all go, but now. Yeah. Okay. So I will say that I don't want to say that the woman is not good news. I will say that much of what we said about her is one, an inaccurate reading of the text, and two, a challenge to what is the truth of the text. But it also is in our in a culture where we put the onus of success on women and not on partnership, where you go to work for 8 hours and then you come home and you put in another 8 hour shift because your partner went to his 8 hour shift and came home and sit in front of the TV waiting on you to come cook or bring the KFC or whatever y'all gonna do that night, but he didn't go get it. And right, but he didn't go get it. Or the children have homework, they come in and all he says is, "Stop that noise." But he doesn't put them to work on their homework. He doesn't partner with you in the sharing of that house. Reading that text, the way people have read it, which he is this mighty woman. In fact, the word for her that is often translated, what they call virtues, is actually warrior woman. It's woman of strength, warrior woman. The word in the Hebrew for warrior woman. This is a warrior woman. She's a soldier. Because she can do this, and this. So, how do you take that text in our reality and say, there's too much going on in a world where we both are working, she's working in the house. There's too much going on in the world where we both got 8 hour jobs. And you come home and think, I'm going to do warrior woman work, and you ain't going to step up and be a soldier too. I mean, really, that's coming up against that text for me. You have to challenge, I think, the cultural assumptions around the text. The cultural assumptions in the text is that that's what that woman does. She makes the purple in the backyard. The merchants come by her door. She sells purple to people who are on the way. You know, how about this? She got servants, y'all. She got staff. She got the text says she takes care of that. She takes care of her servants, and you need to read, and they take care of her. She got servants. So most of what we say about her is sans the staff. Yeah, on the mic though. If you want to pontificate slightly. And being okay with being angry about it. So let me give you a real life example. When I was married and I raised my children, I reared my children in Texas. They were, I think, 10 and 12. No, they may not have been that old. They were 8 and 10. And anybody who knows me long enough, ever been in my house, clean is important to me. I'm OCD about clean. I'm not OCD about a lot of things, but you know, today, I mean, Sharice, my big joke about her, she'll call me and she said, "What are you doing?" I say, "I'm cleaning." She said, "The one dust ball in the corner on the teddy bear." I'm like, well, even that needs to be gone from my house. So I have this fastidiousness about me. So I'm rearing my children, and my husband, to his credit, I mean, he was really a partner in rearing the children. What they did not have my fastidiousness about cleaning. So I would say clean according to my standards, because they knew what that meant. And they would roll their eyes and get at it. Because I'm like, no, not clean. That does not mean throw your clothes under your bed so I can't see them and I can still smell them, whatever. That's not what it means to me. And so they would, anyway, it was a busy time in all of our lives. In the ministry, I was traveling more. The boys were at school. You got the school stuff going on. And the house was falling farther and farther behind. And where Don, my ex, had been doing a lot of the cooking. In fact, he did most of the cooking when the kids were growing up. And even he was teaching the boys how to cook so they could make simple meals. They could make spaghetti at 8 p.m. How about that? And my kids, I told them, you might not get a wife who can cook. And my son didn't. She was so thankful that he had a mother that taught him, that daddy really, that taught him how to cook. So this was getting worse and worse and worse. And so we had a family meeting, which is what we used to do. So I called a family meeting. Anybody in the house could call a family meeting. We need to have a family meeting. I said, look, guys, this is what's going on, and it's driving me crazy. That yes, ma'am, we know. Yes, we're going to handle that. Whatever. Another week goes by. It's now worse. So I put a sign up on the kitchen, up on the refrigerator in the kitchen. The mother in this house is on strike. Not cooking, not cleaning, not washing, nary thing until things change, until further notice is what I put on this. This is a true story. I'm not making any of this up. So of course they saw the note and they, take it in stride. So I come home. They say, what's for dinner? I said, I don't know. I ate. What do you mean you ate? I went to Lucy's. I got me something to eat. Okay. Next day, Mom, did you wash my water? No. But you were washing yesterday. I know I was washing my panties. Did you see the notice on the kitchen, in the kitchen? On the refrigerator? We thought you was kidding. You thought I was kidding? Yes, Mama. Now I can understand if you said you thought somebody else was kidding. But I'm not kidding. So now they men, so their testosterone kick in. They are now in resistance mode. I shall not be moved. We're gonna see who's gonna blink first. I'm determined. I'm not blinking. I ain't cooking for y'all. I ain't clean. I clean my little corner in my bedroom. The whole 9 yards. I come home 2 weeks later. This is the truth. God knows I am not lying. I come home 2 weeks later. The house is spotless. There are cut flowers on the table. Food is wafting from the kitchen. The clothes are pressed and are not only clean, they are folded and pressed. And because I think I got home like 7 o'clock, whatever. And they standing at the door looking sheepish, like they all three of them. Like, are you going to strike yet? And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I said, yes, yes, and we want you to eat with us tonight. Because the big thing here is as a family, we always eat together. And many of their friends will come to dinner with us because they never sat at table with the family. And so, 2 weeks of not being able to do the after school and this happened and that happened. I was getting to them. But I was determined not to blink. I wasn't being nasty. I wasn't walking around the house going, I wasn't doing none of that. I just decided I wasn't doing Proverbs 31 for them. We are family. We are partners. Everybody got to carry their load up in here, up in here. So then I should have known, because they scared to talk directly to me on the bed. Can we have a family meeting? It's like, of course we can have a family meeting. They take me out to Papa. Oh yeah, girl, they were working it. They take me out to this very expensive restaurant, and they wine and dine me. And at the end of it, and they buy me dessert and everything, all three of them, and they're having these wonderful chit-chat conversations. And they say, now, they put Dion up to these 10, to the matter at hand. Oh, God. So, I read that with that lens, knowing that it was not possible for us as a family to survive, but they expected me to do all that and they not carry their weight. And one day, when I turned, I can't remember how old I was, but my children, I came in, it was one of those big old 30 or 40, one of those days. I come into the house and they're standing up on a chair like this, on their tiptoes, both of them. And I said, what are y'all doing? Because they had the balloons up and everything. They said, we're rising to call you blessed. Living where life and text meet each other. I didn't teach them to despise the text. I just said to them, that text has to be read in light of our real life. Yes, come to the mic. Come to the mic. You have your hand up. You scratching your head. You're like, oh, you can't get me up to the mic. You ain't make me. You just can't make me. Or women who shut it down by saying, well, this is what the Lord told me. Yeah, no, I meant the leader themselves shut it down. Okay. Yeah, right. Get a mic. Yeah, get a mic. To her. To her. Get a mic. Pass me the mic. Okay, because we're gonna work on this together. Can we work on it? So the question is, as I am understanding, I'm gonna repeat the question for my sake. Sort of, I'm teaching I'm teaching a Bible class. I say something that just the life and text that ain't working. And you're sitting there and you're like, do I say that? What do I do in a Bible study? Let's go. What do I do? I got a problem with what you just did, Reverend Doctor. What you gonna say? Well, you said, okay, I'm gonna let you do both places. I mean, right, I know. Okay, right, okay. Okay, so think about what you want to say about that. But one of the issues that you bring up for the preachers in the South, I want y'all to hear this. This issue is our inability to engage other people's struggle and to let them have it, and also to have our own with the text. Now, what's underneath that is our theology about the text. If I say to you, oh God, can I tell you this? If I say to you, I'm going to say it anyway, I just call out. If I say to you, this is the infallible word of God, and you cannot question this text, because to question this text is to question God. If that's the foundation that I've laid, then when you lay a question on me, even if it makes sense to me, then I'm obligated by the theology, not the reality. I'm obligated by the theology to say what the theology says. Go ahead. Right. Are you asking or are you telling me? Right. What you see in the text depends on where you stand. It depends on your experiences, which is what happened to you at 17. And it depends on your willingness to acknowledge that you could be wrong. I tell my students all the time, hold what you believe safely, but hold it loose enough so that if God tells you you're wrong, you can let it go. That you don't have to go down with it. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get at this. I don't know if I'm good at it, but 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 but. Mm-hmm. What I wanted to say to you, you asked us what to do with 17-year-olds, and I don't, and we, me included, are going around to what we do as the preacher or the teacher. So let me try to do what does a 17-year-old girl who is awakening in her spirituality and gets shut down happened to my godson. So he comes to me and he says, I'm never going to learn. And here's why. I asked the question and they said, you can't ask questions. And I'm like, that's how I learn. He said, I'm like, that's how I learn. I learn by asking questions. And I said to him, how safe do you feel there? That was the first thing I said. He's like, any questions? Took up and third degree. I feel real good. I'm like, but you didn't say anything else, right? Well, no. And I'm like, right, I get it. And I'm not putting the onus on you. But I'm wanting you to understand why you didn't say anything. So that when you come into your own house, you will never back down again. You won't just say, okay, because that's what you do when you're afraid of the power that you see. And at 17, in a room full of old folks, that's what you see. So I'm acknowledging that there's very little 17-year-old girl would have done in that position anyway. But me, the auntie, would have said to them, had I heard the story, is here's what I need you to know. You hadn't found the voice around you. You get the right to Christian. Last example about that. I was on Facebook having a conversation with someone. She's shaking her head because she knows. And we are in fact trying to have a dialogue. And then the dialogue went way left. And way left. And the person said, can't we just agree to disagree? Thomas said, I don't agree to disagree. I don't agree to disagree. I think we should keep disagreeing and keep talking until we come to an understanding of what everybody you ain't stole your bad kids, and you ain't got 3 wives. I mean, that's his little mantra around that. But he had a mother to teach him that. So I'm saying, if culturally, if you're not in a family that'll get you killed, it's the truth, though. You know it's the truth. I'm not making the polygamist is killing you. I mean, this is the child who said to a police officer standing on Old Road in Austin, Texas. Police officer comes by and says, "What's in your bag?" He said, "I'm on a public street walking. You don't have a right to ask me what's in my bag." "What's in your bag, boy?" He said, "Well, I am a boy to my mother and my father. And what's in my bag probably is contraband to you because it's books. And a black man with books is dangerous." I said, "You were trying to die. You were trying to die." But he was raised in an environment that said thinking is a gift from God. Most of us create church atmospheres where we don't want people to think. It's because we're scared that we're going to have to one day say, "I don't know," as their spiritual authority. Or because we haven't thought or even been taught how to think. Just because I said so.
Well, a couple of things. One of my favorite movies is The Matrix. I mean, absolute favorite movie. And there's this line in the second one where Morpheus is y'all know The Matrix because we've been talking about people like they my friends, right? So there's this moment in the second installment where Morpheus' character, the lead prophet, if you will, that believes that Neo is the one who has an encounter with one of the generals, and the general says to him, "Not everybody believes what you believe." And Morpheus says, "My faith doesn't require that they do." Like these kinds of moments and engaging in conversation, you have to kind of position in your internal self that that I don't need them to agree with me, because if you need people to agree with everything you say, if that's the foundation, then even the resistance that comes or the questions that come seem like a retaliation or a rebuke to you instead of just a sharing of ideas. But the other thing that I thought about Jahad was that even though that happened to you at 17, I can think of a lot of situations as a grown woman in ministry at the table, primarily with men, who find yourself in those similar kinds of situations where even you have to say where you have to say, how do I, because I'm not going to let the foolishness go, at least I don't want to, but how do I address it? And I think one of the things that has been helpful is to raise the question. Even if the question is to follow logic you don't believe. Because, sometimes people's arguments are illogical. But even if you raise the question, so based on what you're saying, this seems to be the logical, this is, are you connecting? Are you also saying this? That doesn't mean that people change their mind, but I think it helps to enter into a conversation in a way that I found to be helpful. And the last thing I'll say, and you talked about this, being, I'm good for it. Well, I Cherie say, Paul say, Paul say. The some stuff is just me. I don't need it to be the Bible. I don't need to say the Holy Ghost led me. I don't need. I'm like, no, I just think it. And it's good for me. Because it doesn't put. I don't put myself in a position where God said say it, but I can have a conversation with somebody, and then I also own my land, and that was the piece. I own why Vashti is my hero. I can tell you why. You said it last night, and I'm like, that's why. So I don't try to make it not be something else. I don't try to act like I have a different perspective. And sometimes we want to act like we don't have a perspective, and that what we say is that we are the mouthpiece of God. And when you do that, you put yourself in a position where people can agree with you or have questions, where you start buckling. So I think that there's a humbleness that is helpful, and an honesty and a transparency about a perspective that you have. Why the Proverbs 31 woman is problematic. That helps in conversation.
I have to tell you, I have permission from my kids, now because to tell the stories I tell. I don't tell any story about them that I have not gotten express permission to share, and especially from the sister. Shall I say that? Now I do something when they got